Good afternoon. How are we doing, folks? Um, had a couple of days off from streaming. Just gonna turn on the. Uh, hey Taylor, how you doing? Really great to see you here. Just gonna turn the audio down ever so slightly. The choir in my ears is just a little bit too loud. So how you doing, Taylor? I watched half of your stream from last night. I then actually had to do some work, and so I had to switch to just music rather than things with lyrics. Um, but that looked to be good. That looked to be good. Other folks out there, feel free to say hello, or you can lurk. Lurking is absolutely encouraged. So how am I doing? How am I doing? Well, hey, Mon Economist. Nice to see you. So this is my first stream since hitting affiliate, which is awesome. So let's just, thank you very much for that. Um, no offense will be taken if you fall asleep on my stream. I'll just go a little bit deeper, a little bit calmer. But now slowly going off to sleep. Everything is fine. The world isn't a shit show. It is all good. No, I appreciate that. Wanted to come and celebrate the affiliateness. No, I appreciate it. I could not have done this without you. How long have I been doing this for? About 2 months, 3 months, something like that. I said this a few times. I kind of didn't really have any expectations of where streaming would go. I just knew I had the kit to do it now. I knew a lot of people who do it. And I thought it might be a bit of fun. And I've really enjoyed it. And so I had no expectations of hitting affiliate at any stage, to be honest. But, thanks to the hard work of all you, especially yourself and One Economist, we managed to do it. So thank you so much. And, hopefully we'll just go from strength to strength on this one. So what does this mean, being affiliate? Well, I'm still figuring this out, to be honest. It's like, yay, I did it. Oh my good God, there are so many things I need to toggle now. So what does this mean? So first of all, let's talk about the elephant in the room. This means there are now ads, because ads are kind of one of the ways I might make a small, tiny amount of money out of this. So if you were lurking at the start, while the starting soon screen was on, you probably saw some ads. I think there'll be one kind of near the end of this. I will adjust the levels with time. I want to figure out what the best way of setting this up is. I think there's kind of no getting around the fact that, given the fact that, at least right now, a lot of my streaming is lunch chats, I need to have an ad break in there. Otherwise, I'm not going to get anything from this. That 5p is just so important. But so that's kind of unavoidable. And I'll just change my generic "be right back" screen, I think, when that comes up. I will come up with a proper thing. That which links to what I'm going to be doing with this, because now there are a lot of options out there. So you now have channel points. There's not a lot on there, but if you have a look under the message box, you have goodly looking rocks. So I've gone for the kind of... I have continued in the sort of brand of penguin related stuff. So you have goodly looking rocks. There will be a cute little image for that probably in the new year, which you can spend. You can, in theory, subscribe should you wish to. I believe it's like little penguin, royal penguin, emperor penguin. There will be emotes. I'm already talking to Sleepiest Designs, who is a wonderful artist. Jenny creates absolutely adorable stuff. So there will be emotes coming for that, which would be kind of cool. What else have we got on there in terms of stuff that's upcoming? Well, I want to do a general kind of revamp of kind of all of this. And by that I mean the interface, not just my face, though it probably could use it. Because I mean, so this is the first time I kind of did streaming, this kind of run I've done here, but sort of looked at doing it, I want to say a couple of years ago, maybe pre-pandemic, I want to say, or maybe it was, no, maybe during pandemic, because a lot of people started streaming during the pandemic, kind of as a way to keep sane. So I did have a look at it then, and the computer I had at the time just couldn't cope with it. So it was a no-go, really. But I had a look at it a little bit, and I did that thing which inevitably, if I kind of overdo a project at the start, I will try and make it all bells and all whistles, rather than do the basics, build up, add the bells, add the whistles. So I started looking at like kind of cool layouts and stuff like that, and I realized, why the heck am I doing this? I need to nail actually doing the streaming bit first. So that's what I've got. As you've seen, I don't have a lot of stuff here. Even on my kind of gaming interface, or if I'm writing, there's not a lot of stuff there. There's no nice borders or anything like that. Literally, just my face just goes kind of down to the bottom of the screen, down there. It's not really fancy at all. So that's something I want to have a look at, kind of over the festive season. I don't think I'm going to go nuts with it to begin with. If you've seen what my stuff looks like on YouTube, so if I just jump across to, why not? Let's share that on screen for a second. So if I jump to that, you'll see I've got some branding stuff I've been doing with videos, which is kind of like the green borders, the purple borders for writing, the red borders for gaming. So I'll probably do a similar sort of thing. But what I am going to do is I'm going to make it significantly prettier with the help of Olderdoodle. If you don't know who Olderdoodle is, Mona is an amazing artist. She has a lot of kind of borders and stuff and calligraphy. Her work is absolutely beautiful, but she has done so many packs of free borders and stuff like that available through her Ko-Fi, which I will chuck here because, quite frankly, her work is just, some of it's cute, but some of it's just so pretty. So I'm going to chuck that in the chat for you here, because I think, especially if anyone who's in the tabletop RPG space, look at Mona's stuff. It's really good. But she's got, like I said, loads of packs of borders and stuff like that. And I've reached out to say, look, can I use these for my stream? And she said, yeah, that's fine. So I will be using those with a credit to her, just to kind of jazz it up a bit. And one of the reasons I'm doing this, not just because I want to make this look a bit more professional, though that is kind of an important thing in there, is when I'm gaming or writing, I don't want my face to be over the thing I'm doing, so I'll probably shift it so there might be a tiny little bit of overlap, but I'm going to use the space a bit better. So I'll probably have the window being, kind of 80% of the screen, and then myself at the bottom, and then, kind of any useful blurb will be at the bottom rather than overlapping it. Because as you can see currently, I've got like stuff up here and stuff there and stuff there, which is overlapping the image. So I just want to get it look a little bit prettier. So I'll be working on that over Christmas, and we'll see where we go with that. And one of the things, doing the terrible thing, I'm starting a sentence and taking a drink. Told myself I was going to stop doing that. I have not managed that yet. So one of the things I'm going to be doing while I'm creating a nicer kind of interface for all of this is I'm going to have to do some setup for streaming an actual one-shot, because that brings me on to the next topic of conversation, which is Blunderlings. So I actually got my act together and finished the playtesting version of Blunderlings, which is the next Little But Fierce expansion. So that has been put up on my Ko-Fi and my Patreon, and I put out a general kind of call, stood on top of the hills, beckoning, for anyone who would like to playtest that. So let's quickly chuck a little bit on the screen to have a look at this. So this is a little peek at Blunderlings. So I've mentioned it before. It is, so from a content perspective, one of the big things it introduces is the Scout class, which is my version of a Ranger. From a kind of thematic and other content sense, it is themed around kind of useless lackeys. So it's got a kind of Despicable Me, a dungeon keepery sort of vibe, as you can hopefully get from the adorable artwork here of the kind of troll guy, the gremlin, and the definitely legally distinct from any sort of Despicable Me related creature in the bottom right hand here, who is a spud. But he's also carrying a bomb. So this artwork is, again, done by Sleepiest Designs, and Jenny just makes such cute stuff. But I'll give you a little preview of some of this. So this is what we've got here. So I really like the art we've got here. We've got this kind of dungeon background for the double page spread, which is in the background there. And you've got these adorable little characters across it. I've jumped across too many pages in one go there. So you've got kind of imp people, rat folk, again, the spud again at the bottom. I really, really love the designs for this. This is a kind of custom guy I came up with. This is the Skelly. I'm trying not to roll the mouse ball on my magic mouse because it jumps pages ahead. So this guy in the top right there is a Skelly. So I wanted to have a kind of skeleton type race, but I didn't want to make them scary. So he's kind of a hodgepodge. So as you see, he's got a kind of like a bird skull face and some cute little gooey eyes in there and various other bits and pieces that make him up. I tried to go for cute rather than scary. But, you know, it's a pretty good book, I think. Look at the little rat folk guy casting Speak with Animals in the bottom left there. So you get some new kin, which is the equivalent of races, but I don't use the word race in Little Affairs. You get the Scout class. You get some spells. You get a load more creatures, including things like giant frogs and giant weasels and ravens and snakes and stuff like that. So I've still got a bit of a cold here. And you also get a quest, which I'm not going to spoil by having on screen. But there is a full one-shot adventure in there. Could be a little bit longer than a one-shot, but it's designed to be a one-shot. So that's there for two reasons. That one, because I've never actually published a Little But Fierce pre-made adventure before. And I wanted to. And secondly, that is going to be the playtesting stream that's going to be done at some point in the early new year. Apologies for just a second. So I did want to do a playtesting. I mean, people will playtest, which is great. And it's really nice that there are people out there who are willing to try some of my work in progress content. But because, well, originally it's because I wanted to try out the Scout class, because it was the class I've done so far that has deviated the most from the rules as written system reference document version. I wanted to give it a bit of a playtest. And also, it kind of, how things have ended up going, it's tied in nicely with me starting to stream. So it means I have an opportunity to actually try doing all the crazy stuff that happens when you are doing running a one-shot. So that's something I'm going to need to figure out. I mean, the basics of it seem all right. Basically, I need to arrange a Zoom call with the people who are playing, and then I just need to have an interface that's ready with chopped up bits of that video to kind of slot into the overlay. So that shouldn't be too bad to do, I think. But it is another thing for me to take on. But it's a skill, it's something I want to do. But it does mean I need to make a really cute, kind of cool looking interface for the stream itself. But that'll be fun. It's another challenge. It'll add another string to my bow. So I'm looking forward to it. Exciting time. So that is another thing I'll be working on kind of over the festive period, is prep stuff for that. So I do have an alternate version of the playtesting document that doesn't include the one shot at the back, which I'll send to the people who I'm going to be playing with. But if you are interested in it, if you want to have a play around with that expansion and are willing to provide constructive feedback, if you'd like to run that one shot, for friends and family and little ones, just give give me a prod, and I am happy to send that over. I would just ask that obviously you don't, put any of the stuff out there. So that means no streaming of your own with it. But the more the merrier for that one. I would really like more people to be playing that stuff, which is great. Which means the next project I'll be going on is I need to actually work in earnest on the stuff of Legends, which is the kind of mythology themed one, which I've been doing little bits of in the background. I did a writing stream on that, but now that Blunderlings is basically done, other than doing that playtesting, I can start writing on that in earnest. And I think I have an artist lined up for that one. It was someone I met at MCM London. It's not all set in stone yet, so I won't kind of say who they are and send links and stuff like that. But they make really, again, it's very kid friendly. It's not all kind of cutesy stuff, but I like the style of her work. It is, it definitely fits that right kind of level of, this is adventuring, this is Dungeons and Dragons but it's not 100% serious, and it's not scary and adult. So I think that's going to be fun, but I do need to actually do the writing, kind of all the life stuff that's happened over the last a few weeks. The last month has kind of set me back on writing quite a lot. So I was kind of hoping that I'd kind of finish the writing by early January, and realistically it's going to be early February. But what can you do? Life does tend to throw random crap at you, and there's nothing you can do. You just got to kind of roll with it and keep going. But yeah, that's going to be good. I'm feeling like kind of in a good place with stuff. Dear life, stop throwing things at us, please. Oh God, yes. It is the. Does anyone get that? So for those who haven't seen it, there is a really good Jim Carrey film, which is The Truman Show. It gets referenced an awful lot by people, and we're kind of living in that world now. But for those who don't know it, it's the idea of the film is that Jim Carrey's character was the first person adopted by a company, and his entire life is like a reality TV thing. And that's not a spoiler. It is literally said at the start of the film. But he doesn't realise it. So everything is a reality TV show. Everything is kind of designed for him. They've got an idea of what they want him to do, and they're trying to nudge him in those directions. And, they throw obstacles at him to make interesting plot points and all of this. But there are definitely times, I don't know if other people get this, but my wife and I have this conversation all the time. There are times when the things that life throws at you, it does feel like very Truman Show-ish. That someone out there is going, right, it's the mid-season finale. We need, a really crazy episode with loads of different dilemmas thrown up, to see how they cope with them. Because it is always, I call mine a telenova. It does feel like, it's never one thing. It's three things at the same time. Excuse me again. You don't need to see me blowing my nose on stream. But it is never one thing at one time. It's like inevitably, you get a flat tire on the same day you run out of Weetabix, but that always is compounded with, oh, it's that and that and that. Things come in threes. Yeah, I think it does tend to be true. Maybe we just notice it, but it really does feel like it sometimes, doesn't it? Yeah, so there's nothing you can do. And I don't want to turn the stream into a downer, but it's one of those that I'm just kind of trying to keep going through all this kind of stuff, and I don't want it to. So my train of thought is kind of wandering on this one. The cold has hit me a bit more right now. I just kind of want to kind of keep pushing ahead. There's all. I'm not going to go into the details, but there's a lot of kind of family stuff going on right now. We're just trying to kind of keep it going, support as best we can. And that is the important support as best we can, because we know we can't control everything. We know we can't fix everything. So it's just trying to help as much as we can without, imploding ourselves, because, there's only so much you can do. So we're just trying our best. We're trying to keep going. We're trying to keep each other sane. We're trying to make sure none of the chaos rubs off on our little one. And we're just going to keep it going. And we're looking ahead to Christmas. It'll be really nice. We've already kind of planned that we're going to have everyone round for Christmas Day itself to take pressure off of other people, and also it'll just be nice. We were last Christmas we were still living in Scotland, so people had to come to us, or we had to travel down south to them. So it would be nice that actually we're here now. We're not far from family, so it's really easy for us, to just pull out the dining room table. I actually quite like cooking Christmas dinner, to be honest. I find it very zen, and I like the kind of. I don't quite have a spreadsheet for it, but that kind of methodical mindset of right. I just need to figure out all the things, put them in this order, and set the alarms on the Alexa in order to do stuff at the right times. So it's nice. It'll be nice to see everyone around Christmas, and it'll be a nice kind of thing for everyone to be looking ahead to. And we'll see where we go from there. It's tough, but you're doing a great job. Thank you. That means a lot. It is what it is, and just keep going. And I'm trying not. I'm trying not for it to affect kind of our home life, and I'm trying for it not to affect what I'm doing with this, because one, I've got quite a nice momentum going, and I don't want to stall that unnecessarily. But equally, because things are hectic and stressful, and this is something that I'm enjoying doing, it is a very nice release. It's nice to be able to go, right, I'm going to do a stream for a little while. Maybe I'm not terribly chatty on a particular day, but it'll be nice to kind of, play a game and share it with, you wonderful folk out there, or do some writing, just kind of, drift away into all of that for a while. So it's cathartic. It is. We have an ad break coming up in 3 minutes, but I think I'm going to take this in just a second, actually. I think I'm going to take a little ad break early because I need to take a swig of drink, I need to take some cold and flus, I need to blow my nose. So I think let's take a brief ad break here. Refill your drinks, buy a break, whatever you need to do. And we'll be back in about 2 minutes or so. Okay. And we're back. Need to get used to this whole ad break thing, but we'll get there in the end. I will do a custom ad screen at some point. I'll just use my generic be right back one, which kind of assumes that I'm, doing long streams in the evening. Hence the reference to getting a toddler back to sleep. Said toddler is at a nursery today, so I would not need to get her back to sleep, I would hope. So where were we? Moving away from the kind of family drama, love nursery days. Oh man, every so often I think back to some of the stuff during the peak of the pandemic, and that it's almost hard to believe it happened, and that's ridiculous because it is still going. And of course it's still going. And, please, for the love of God, wear masks when busy public places and the like. But at the peak of it during lockdowns and stuff like that, it was bizarre. It really was. I mean, I was, used to working from an office, so that's when I first started working from home. My wife was teaching, so she had remote lessons at certain times. The company I was working for at the time, they were actually very, very good. They kind of had a policy of do what you can do, they accepted, as I hope everyone would, but I know it's not the case, that, people with kids, they gotta work around this summer. We invested in what we called baby jail, which is essentially, one of the kind of wooden pen type things of a suitable size, because our little one was, oh good grief, like 1.5, 2. At the start of lockdown, she definitely wasn't walking. I think she was crawling, I want to say. So, but we need, yes, no, she was definitely crawling and crawling quickly. So we definitely needed a way to contain her. Give her enough space to play, but so that she could be contained if both of us happened to be busy at the same time. Or one of us was busy and the other person just had to go to the loo. Our little one didn't. It was only when she started managing to pull herself up and started climbing that our little one was able to escape. But she was pretty good for a while on that one, and it was an absolute lifesaver. And I can't remember how much it cost. It was more than we wanted to pay, kind of more than we had at the time. But it was one of those that, look, this is the situation. We're both going to be working from home, and it is going to be ridiculous. We kind of need this. There's no getting around it. Otherwise, all the stress would become even more so. It feels like a very, very long time ago. It really does. Weird. It is weird to think back about the peak of the pandemic. Hopefully, we never go through that again. But we shall see. We shall see. So last kind of bits and pieces before I kind of wrap this up, and I maybe need to move my ad break to be kind of slap bang in the middle of these streams. So before kind of all the kind of deeper meaningful stuff, I was talking a little bit about Christmas in there, and we're definitely leading up to that, aren't we? I mean, I finish my day job. I finish next Thursday. I think it was going to be Friday, and then we got a really nice email that said we're all getting a half day on the Friday, which was cool, and a half day on the 29th, which I was going to be off anyway. I'd already taken its annual leave, so I'm like, oh, so I get half a day back, and I get half a day there, so I'm going to move that half a day I've got back and take the whole of Friday. Let's do that. So that'll be nice. So definitely starting to wind down for Christmas, which is good. I still have for the, back when I was a teacher, I would always have my last lesson of term for classes, assuming they hadn't been absolute toe rags. I would do a Christmas quiz for them, like a pub quiz style thing, clearly without alcohol. But I still do it. So I still write a Christmas quiz. I've done it for the last 2 years. I still write a Christmas quiz, which I put up on TESS, the Time Educational Supplement website for teachers to buy for a quid and then download and have that, nice easy lesson ready for them. So that went up the weekend, and a few people have bought it, which is cool. And clearly I will just provide that for free to my wife as a nice easy lesson to do, should she wish. But what else was going on about Christmas? Well, watched our first Christmas film of the year. I asked our little one if she wanted to watch a Christmas film, and she said she wanted The Grinch on. Now, I had not seen the latest Grinch. I was kind of vaguely aware that there was one Benedict Cumberbatch in it, but I'd never seen it. I'd seen the old cartoon one, and I'd seen the Jim Carrey one. I hadn't seen the latest one, but she wanted to watch that. But kind of, she only wants to watch the first half of it. There's clearly bits in it that she really likes, but he's not kind of watching it for the whole plot yet. So she obsessed with the bit where the Grinch is being chased through town by carol singers, and she just wanted to watch that bit over and over and over again. I kind of regretted my life choices about putting this film on, because a couple of rewatches of it is all right, but when she just wants to watch like the 10th or 11th time and then wants me to chase her around the house singing God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen, that's a little bit tiring. So I've seen kind of half of a Christmas movie this year so far, because we didn't get all the way through it. But I imagine in the coming days, the Christmas films will come on. I talked about this on another stream. I mean, for us, one of our go-tos is always Home Alone. That is kind of a feel of when Christmas has arrived, when we're watching Home Alone in the evening. There's probably a glass or two of Baileys. And inevitably that's kind of the jam when we're wrapping presents and stuff, but it is nice for kind of a cozy evening. Gremlins is another go-to one I really, really like, but we can't watch Gremlins with our little one awake. because despite Gremlins, I think technically being a PG, which seems bizarre. I'm going to check this. Gremlins UK rating. I think maybe it's a 12. Oh, no. Okay, it is higher. It's 15. I swear it used to be lower than that. I was always surprised by, hello, Photostyle. How are you doing? Lurking at work is legitimate. Absolutely fine. It was a lot of streams I watch and listen to. That's exactly what I'm doing. I'm facing this way to my work computer, and I've got something on over here in the background. Now, Gremlins is a 15. I think they may have upped the rating of that one, because, yeah, it used to be... There we go. History changed. There we go. It was a PG-13 in the States, and I think it was lower rated here before, and I think they maybe upped it, because Gremlins is scary in some places. It really is. And it's scary in quite a kind of primal way. There's something about the scary bits in Gremlins. I'm essentially we're talking about the kind of final act of it, I think, because, I mean, obviously Gizmo's cute. The Gremlins themselves, they're kind of reptile-y type things, so they could be scary, but not necessarily. But when you get to the final act and they are running rampant, and then there's the bit where the kind of leader of them, Stripe, is throwing like not razor blades, like the buzzsaw blades, and there's ones of them that melt in the swimming pool. They melt in water at the end. Yeah. Oh, no, it's when the sunlight hits him and, he kind of melts at the end there. But one of them goes in the microwave and stuff like that. And I think there's a lot of images in Gremlins that, on a very primal level, are quite disturbing, especially if you're not old enough to kind of filter that and know it's, all puppets and stuff like that. So definitely not watching Gremlins while the toddler is awake. But I do love Gremlins. I love the music of Gremlins as well. That's very, very fun. Die Hard will probably get watched at some point. I do like Die Hard. Yeah. I think probably Muppets. I do like, Muppets Christmas Carol is very, very fun, but it's not as entertaining for kids as Treasure Island. So we may have the Muppets on, but I don't think it will hold our little one's attention in the same way that Muppets Treasure Island does. Muppets Christmas Carol is the best version of A Christmas Carol. I think that's pretty true, I can't think of a version that's better. Michael Caine is doing a spectacular job in Muppets Christmas Carol. And I've said this before, that one of the reasons that Muppets Christmas Carol and Muppets Treasure Island are so good, and I'm definitely stealing this from someone, I would not like to claim that this is my own clever piece of analysis, is that in Muppets Christmas Carol, Michael Caine treats the Muppets as fellow actors, so he just raises it to that level. He's not going to act down to them. No, he's just going to treat it as very, very serious, do it absolutely straight. Whereas in Treasure Island, Tim Curry thinks he's a Muppet and acts like a Muppet. And that's why they work so well. The blending of the human actors and the Muppets and the Muppeteers is so perfect in that sense. But yeah, I do like Muppets Christmas Carol. And Gonzo. I love the fact that Gonzo, in his Charles Dickens costume, looks exactly the same as Timothée Chalamet in the new Wonka film. It's like the same look, absolutely. I like Gonzo. Gonzo is hysterical. I think I would say my favourite Muppet. Yeah, I'm going to stick to that. Gonzo's my favourite Muppet. So yeah, Christmas is going to be here very, very soon. I have done basically no Christmas shopping. No, that's an exaggeration. I think I've done no Christmas shopping at all. I have some plans of things to get, but I have not got those things yet. So I need to actually do that. But I think everyone's in a similar boat, to be honest, of people I know. So that's okay. There is no pressure on that one. And I don't have any, other than our little one, no other young children to get stuff for. Because I find young children and much older people are the trickiest people to buy for. Because young children, you've got to get their interests right. And older people have everything already, or they don't. They say they don't want anything, or won't tell you the thing they do want. So you've got to try either pry that out of them or come up with something clever. And if you've been buying them presents for like 50 years, clearly not 50 because I'm not 50, but you know what I mean. You run out of clever ideas. So we'll see how we get on. But yeah, I need to do Christmas shopping at some. But I'm hoping we a kind of chill Christmas when we get to it. We shall see. As I said, Truman Show. Who knows what curveball is awaiting me to be thrown in my direction just when my guard is down. But we'll be fine. We'll be fine. And I hope whatever all of you out there have planned for the festive season, whether it's family stuff or nothing at all, whatever it is, I hope the next few weeks go smoothly. It is an emotional time for all kinds of reasons. So I hope that it is as good as it can possibly be for you, and not stressful. So let's start to wrap this up. So thank you so much for showing up. I really do appreciate it. Hopefully the next time we do one of these, everything will be a little bit fancier, which would be cool, but no promises yet. I'm keeping to my mantra of don't overpromise for what I'm doing with streaming, but hopefully soon fancy stuff shall be coming. If you would like to, you probably know where to follow me. I mean, it's probably worth pointing out that if you don't follow me on Twitter, my username has actually changed. I was hanging on to my Curious Penguin username for a long time, but it is not my brand anymore. So that is now at DC Bradshaw RPG, because someone else has got at DC Bradshaw. So that's changed. But please follow me in those places, Twitter, Blue Sky. I do occasionally use a bit of Mastodon as well. If you'd like to support me coming up to Christmas, there's a few ways you can do it. I have a Patreon, DC Bradshaw RPG. I have a Ko-Fi, DC Bradshaw RPG, and any money to my Ko-Fi goes to supporting the Tabletop RPG Creators Directory's hosting, which costs me kind of 15 quid a month, which is fine. It comes out of my business sales and stuff like that. But if you would like to support me in the hosting of that, please chuck some money to my Ko-Fi. We're 77% way to funding all the remaining hosting for this year, and then that will get reset in January. But if you want to chuck me a couple of quid to that, if you're able to, that's great. If you're not, that is totally cool as well. In terms of stuff I've got going on, well, I have 2 sales on right now. I have the Little But Fierce festive sale continues. You can pick up the core Little But Fierce book for $7.95, and the full bundle of all 4 books for $9.95. And we are, certainly at the start of this stream, 5 sales away from Little But Fierce being a gold bestseller on DriveThruRPG, which is just incredible. That means we're on 496 sales. And when we get to 501, it's a gold bestseller. That is just incredible. So if you out there have bought it already, thank you so much. If you haven't bought it, and you know of anyone who might be interested in it, just leaving it out there, might be interested. Good time to pick it up. It's an awful lot cheaper right now than it normally is. And the final thing that I'm plugging right now is all of my DM's Guild content is currently massively on sale. There's a huge bundle of that. That's $9.45. It's like 75% off for all my DM's Guild content, and that includes both Monsters Unleashed books, both Hard-Boiled Adventures books, and a load of extra gubbins in there, including As Time Goes By, which is my world builder's guide for creating calendars and time systems for your games. So if there's anything that sounds of interest in there, pick that up. That's great. All on sale. To kind of raise money for the Christmas season, because as I said, money is a little tighter than I would like right now because of family support stuff. So any sales are gratefully appreciated. So thank you so much for that. Right. Well, my plugging is done. Thank you all once again for coming out to support me. I really do appreciate it. Taylor, I hope I have not scared you off, and you'll be willing to pop in again. And I hope you all have a wonderful Wednesday afternoon. Or in the case of a monocolorist, for love of God, go to sleep. All right. Let's see if there's anyone I can raid, and then let's sign this one off. There's no one I know who is streaming, so I think I'm going to do this without a raid. So take care of all, and we'll speak soon. All right, bye.